Hey everyone, Caleb from thebookflipper.com. You're all aware that box level contents are coming as of November 1st. That's something Amazon's been threatening for several months, and we're finally about 10 or 11 days away from that point. I want to show you a solution I've created to try and make this just a little bit easier. You're well aware there's some web-based forms, there's some spreadsheets that Amazon's put together, and they're decent, but it still takes a little extra time when you're going to build your shipments. We've created a spreadsheet system that really streamlines that process. Hopefully makes that a little easier, as well as there is some third-party software. I just want to walk you through our spreadsheet solution and see if it's a good option for you. Step one is to come into your shipment. We've got a shipment of 71 books, and fortunately they're all going to the same warehouse. So when you come down here, how will the shipment be packed? You're going to say more than one SKU per box. And some of your screens may look a little bit different, but you have the option here to do an upload file. We're going to select from the options here. We're going to do tab delimited. Make sure you do that. And we think it's going to end up being 3 boxes, but it could be 2. We're always going to start with just 2 boxes here, unless you know exactly how many boxes there will be. And then you can come back at the end. This will be the most flexible option. And if it changes, you can come back at the end and change this with one extra little step. So from there, you're going to say generate the pack list template. It'll give you a TSV, or a tab separated variable maybe. It's going to be just a simple document you can pull up here. Once that opens up, you can simply put your cursor in here and select all, so Command A or Control A, and then copy, or Command or Control C. And you're going to come over to this. This is the box content solution spreadsheet we put together. And there's 3 tabs here, and it's 3 steps. Step 1 is import the data. That's what we just did. You're going to paste into cell A1, and there is our shipment data right here. Step 2 is to do the box level contents. We tried to make this just as easy as possible. So we separated this out up to 50 boxes. Hopefully you don't have a shipment that big. And we're going to scan FN SKUs. So you have to have labeled your shipment up front for this to work. But that's another way to save 20 cents an item. For us, this is for books, but this can work with any products as well. So from there, we're just going to simply build our shipments, and I have my lovely wife Michaela here to help us out. Say hello.
Hello.
So we're gonna have her build some shipments. You can see the 71 books here in piles. And again, rather than having to scan these in and search for these in a web form and then say what box they're going into, we're simply going to build these shipments right here in Excel. So go ahead and get started. We've got a couple tools here. One is just a regular Tautronics USB barcode scanner. It's just hooked up into the computer, like 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. It works great. The second is the scale here, and I like this scale because it actually lets us see the weight as we add the books to the boxes, and it makes that process very, very easy, and we can make sure we don't go over 50 pounds and Amazon gets mad at us. So we're going to start with box 1. We're simply going to scan the FN SKUs, and then we'll let Michaela build the boxes. As you can see, as it scans, it automatically pulls in the quantity, and it's just going to do a default of 1. If we do have any duplicate books, which we do for the sake of this example, the spreadsheet's smart enough and it'll holler and say, hey, you've got duplicate books. We'll show you what that looks like in a minute. It's also saying there's no expiration date needed, as you can see right here. And again, that's because these are books. No need to do anything else. So the beautiful part of Excel is as you scan these books, it's simply pulling the data off of the import data screen. If you accidentally scan something that shouldn't be in this shipment, it'll give you an error message as well and say, hey, that shouldn't be in there. If there is an expiration date, such as groceries, then you're going to be able to put that date over in the expiration date column as well. And so far, so good. So she's just building her shipment here.
I have some duplicates for you.
Okay, let's show some duplicates, or scuplicates as we call them. Okay, so when this happens, says duplicate item found, and it shows that the same FN SKU is here. You can't leave it alone like this because Amazon's not going to figure it out. Excel's not smart enough here, or I'm not smart enough to figure out Excel. So how many of those do we have total?
I believe 2.
Just 2? Okay, so we're just going to change.
Nope, 3.
We have 3, so we're going to change.
Oops, that one.
We're going to change the quantity to 3, and then we're going to actually delete the other FN SKU and then keep going.
All right, and then we have 2 of this one.
Okay, so we have another duplicate. Go ahead and scan it one more time just to show what happens. So if you do scan it again, it will say duplicate item found. You can see they're right next to each other because we kept the same books together. And again, we're just going to simply change this to quantity 2, delete the other FN SKU, and we're back in business. So carry on. And again, you can see we're not having to control find and find individual SKUs on a spreadsheet or on the web-based form. This is just very simple. You can put the books in any order you want, fill the box just like Tetris exactly the way you want to, and when you're done, we'll move on to box 2.
All right, I'm at a heavy weight, so I'm going to move on.
Okay, so we've kind of maxed out this box. We're just going to put the weight. Usually we write that on the outside of the box as well as box number 1, and we're going to move on to box 2. So on the spreadsheet here, we're simply going to move over to box 2, put our cursor in the FNSKU slot, and we're going to go get started building box number 2. Have at it.
Move on to box 3.
Okay, so box 2 is done. We're going to put the weight on it and just mark box 2, and then we're going to move over to box number 3. And again, just put your cursor at the top of the FNSKU list, and we're just going to wrap up these last few books.
That's the end of box 3.
All right, that's it. So you can see it didn't take much extra time at all. We have the weights, and from there, we're going to show you how to export the data and move on up from there. Bear with me one second. We're going to get the spreadsheet out a little bit bigger. So remember, step 1, we imported the data from Amazon. Step 2, we got our box contents. Step 3, we're going to export it. But before we do that, we need to jump back to Amazon. Remember, we guessed there was going to be 2 boxes. In actuality, there are 3. So we're going to regenerate this file just to make sure everything is kosher on Amazon's end. Open that TSV again, and we don't have to redo the box contents, but we're going to go back to this spreadsheet. We copied that data, go into the imports tab, and we're simply going to paste this here as well. It's not the same size and shape, that's fine. It's now set up for 3 boxes, so we're set to go. So import data, step 1. Step 2, we already have all of our data as far as which books are in which box. And then step 3, it actually builds this out for us, and it's in the exact right format that Amazon wants. So rather than having to find each of these FNSKUs in the spreadsheet and say what box it's in and whether or not we need expiration dates, all that work is done on the back end for you. So all that remains to be done from here is we're going to export this data. So we're going to say save as, and we're going to save it as a text file. So we're going to come down here and say tab delimited text. We're just going to say box content solution, and we'll just say 1 for the sake of today. We'll save that to the desktop. Remember, we're going to save it in a .txt format. We're going to save that. Save the active sheet. And from there, we're just going to upload this to Amazon. So, you want to give me the box weights real quick?
42.
And the dimensions on ours are what? 16
12,
by 12 by 10, so we can just bulk fill those. And 42 pounds for box 1.
41.
41 for box 2.
27.
27 for box 3. You want to go ahead and just buy that now or do it later?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to say we're going to upload that file we just created. So it's going to be box content solution 1. And we're going to say upload now. So now Amazon has the weights, the dimensions, and they're going to have the box level content. So which book is in which box. And typically you'll have to wait 15 to 30 seconds, and you can just say click to refresh the status and make sure everything got uploaded properly. So we'll give that just 1 minute here to make sure it worked. And we're done. So again, we're looking for 66 records. Again, we had 71 books, but only 61 individual SKUs. Number of errors, 0, so everything is great, and we're ready to go. So from here, we can simply calculate our shipping, upload this to Amazon, and off we go. So that's just a high-level overview of a demo, and we'll have that available over on our website as well. See the comments below for that, and thanks for watching.